This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Hannah calls for government to address the $30 million allocated to St. Anne Road not yet fixed. Member of Parliament for Southeast St. Anne, Lisa Hannah, is calling on the government for an urgent update on when work on the road in Claremont to Higgintown Main Road will commence. In a statement on Monday, the MP said taxi operators and other residents blocked the road to express their frustration at the government and the National Works Agency for failing to act on their promise to fix the road in June 2021. This road has been the subject of what can only be deemed as a political victimization and a sabotage to the residents of my constituency. I had made representation on this matter from as early as October 30, 2020, when I wrote to the CEO of the NWA, Mr. E.G. Hunter, advising of the deplorable road condition and the need for it to have urgent attention. Hannah shared. She said that having not received any formal response from the agency on February 9, 2021, the taxi drivers and others who used the route blocked the road, citing the hazard it was creating for them and their passengers. This time I followed up with Minister Everett Warmington, seeking information on the status of my request. On June 29, 2021, I received a formal communication from the St. Anne NWA parish manager that $30 million was finally allocated to fix sections of this road. On October 7, 2021, I met again with the taxi operators and other residents to update them as up to that point, no roadwork had commenced by the NWA. I advised them that Minister Warmington said that the contract for the road was out for public tender, which would take some time, the MP explained. Noting that 6 months have now elapsed, Hannah is calling for an update. I am calling on the government to publicly address this matter as we are being kept in the dark and we are seeing other major roads being fixed in adjoining constituencies. She added the people are tired of the ministry's procrastination and need an urgent update on when the road will commence, the MP said. 5 injured in Clarendon crash. 3 people were rushed to the hospital and several others are nursing minor injuries following a traffic mishap along the Hayes Main Road in Clarendon on Sunday morning. The incident, which happened about 10:15 a.m., involved a Toyota Hiace minibus and a Honda Fit motor car. According to eyewitness Shea Brown, the bus, which was heading towards Maypen from Lioneltown, indicated for a right turn when the Honda Fit, which was heading in the same direction, slammed into it. The bus put on the indicator to go over to the church, and the vehicle is coming from nowhere and licked the bus, and the bus licked the light post and it bust up for him van, and the vehicle turned over, she recounted. The bus driver suffered wounds to his mouth, she said. Him clothes tear up and blood up. In the Honda, a girl start bawl out, "Woy, me baby inna it. Me baby, me baby, me baby. Me family inna the car. Me have somebody sick inna the car." So it looked like somebody dem a carry go hospital when it licked the bus. So somebody assist her and take out the baby and give somebody fi hole. And she come out through the window, Brown added. She noted that another woman was also pinned down in the Honda. Them did want to take out the lady, but the police said don't take her out because you don't know how to hold her. And if you don't hold the lady bad, she can die. Same time the lady start bawl, "Me want water, me want water." But people on the scene say, "Don't give her no water because sometime when you give them water they die," explained the witness. Firefighters later arrived and the woman was cut from the vehicle, then transported to the Lioneltown Hospital. Shortly after that, Mr. the ambulance come up and then another one. It was a serious accident. Nobody not dead so far, but about 3 persons rushed to the hospital first, then the girl with the baby. Then people advised the driver of the Honda to go to the hospital and then him go, she said. The status of those hospitalized is still not known as the police are still investigating. Sunday morning's accident occurred mere meters away from where 2 motorcyclists died in a collision 3 days before. Students return for face-to-face classes as new school term kicks off. Hundreds of students turned up at the public primary and secondary schools across the island on Monday morning for the start of the new term and the resumption of face-to-face classes. In-person learning resumed at the primary and the secondary schools despite a spike in the number of COVID-19 cases in the country. The Ministry of Education last week, in a bulletin signed by Chief Education Officer Dr. Kassan Troop, informed all regional directors, school boards, and the principals of all public and private educational institutions that the academic year will commence for formal classes on Monday, January 3. The bulletin noted that on the date, face-to-face instructions would be offered in all pre-primary, primary, and secondary institutions for all students under certain conditions. These include a satisfactory health inspection and a COVID-19 complaint approval report from the Health Ministry. Flooding of Tinson Pen to be addressed, Montague says. The Ministry of Transport and Mining says the Airports Authority of Jamaica has set aside funds to end the continuous flooding of the Tinson Pen Aerodrome and a section of the Marcus Garvey Drive in St. Andrew. Portfolio Minister Robert Montague said that the AAG's engineering department did a study on the area and discovered that a major drain is blocked. So we have engaged the National Works Agency to give us an estimate because we want to clear that drain during the next dry period so we can alleviate the discomfort of our tenants and users of the road, the minister said. He said whenever flooding occurs in the area, all tenants at the Tinson Pen facility are affected and a budget is in place for the project to treat with, but we are waiting on the NAA to get their engineering advice and estimate, he added. He also noted that several meetings have been held with the tenants, political representatives, and the community leaders to get their input and appraise them of the development. St. Thomas records the first murder. St. Thomas has recorded its first murder for the year. The deceased is a 37-year-old Jermaine Spencer, otherwise called Pussface, who was of a Navarre Lane address in Seaford. The police report that about 1:15 on Sunday afternoon, residents heard loud explosions and went to investigate. They came upon the body of a man with multiple gunshot wounds lying face down on the ground. The body was clad in a pair of black shoes, blue jeans pants, and a brown t-shirt. The police were summoned. Investigators believe that the murder is linked to the ongoing feud between residents of Navarre Lane and the Back Smith Lane in Seaford. One killed in attempted assassination of Haitian Prime Minister. A wide-scale investigation has been launched following the attempted assassination of Haitian Prime Minister Ariel Henry on Sunday morning. According to police reports, at least one person was killed and several others injured in the city of Gonaive as Henry and his entourage left a church service that was held to commemorate the country's 218th anniversary of political independence. As heavily armed gangs that controlled the area fired in the direction of the official delegation, the Prime Minister was quickly removed from the area. The police say that the man, whose identity has not been released, was killed in the middle of the shootout between an armed gang and the security personnel who was protecting the Prime Minister and other officials. The mass was held despite reported threats from the armed group which warned Henry not to come to the city. Following the incident, the remaining events to celebrate Independence Day were cancelled. Henry, who was installed as Prime Minister weeks after President Jovenel Moise was assassinated at his home in early July, had been focusing on trying to clamp down on the increase in crime and violence across the country. 80,000 hospital gowns donated to Jamaica. National Air Cargo Holdings of South Florida has donated 80,000 gowns to Jamaica's Ministry of Health and Wellness for distribution in hospitals across the country. The donation was part of a total shipment of some 300,000 gowns split among Jamaica, Haiti, and a number of other Caribbean islands. Oliver Mayer, Jamaica's Consul General to Miami, who was instrumental in getting the gowns, thanked National Airlines for its generous contribution to boost the efforts to outfit Jamaican hospitals with the vital equipment and protective gear. Our health system will benefit by this kind of gesture, said Mayer, who also thanked Food for the Poor, which was instrumental in providing the logistical support for getting the guns into Jamaica. Georgia Gold-Smith, Director of HR and Compliance at National Airlines, initiated the processes and coordinated with the U.S. Consul General to Jamaica and the Food for the Poor teams to facilitate the collection of Level 3 disposable sterile surgical gowns in 1,750 cartons from National's storage facilities. National has always practiced a policy of business with a social commitment. We have been at the forefront of numerous global crises as first responders, which includes successful missions delivering COVID-19 medical relief supplies across the globe, said Christopher Alf, chairman of National Air Cargo Group Incorporation. This partnership with Food for the Poor is a small token of our shared responsibility to provide needed medical relief supplies around the world. We will continue collaborating with organizations throughout our future, he added. Since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, National Air Cargo Group has been instrumental in airlifting medical supplies, including protective masks, gowns, and oxygen cylinders in the United States, China, parts of Africa, India, Pakistan, and Nepal, and other countries. National teams also coordinated the safe transport of COVID-19 vaccines to inaccessible terrains. This is not the first time National has coordinated missions in Jamaica and Haiti. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.